Bulldog Hour, getting you inside the Wilson football program with weekly game previews, recaps, highlights, and interviews. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Mays and Justin Rapoff.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Bulldog Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Mays, and sitting here next to me is my co-host, Justin Rafoff.
Yeah, it's great to be here. It's about that time of year.
It is that time of year. Today was the player picnic. Tomorrow is pads on, ready to roll.
That's right.
Bright and early, 6:30 will come quickly.
Time to go.
Hey, it's well, we really wanted any other way for mid-August here in South Central, Southeastern Pennsylvania.
I don't have to get up and practice at 6:30, so sure.
I mean, I'm normally up at that time, but I'm not wearing pads.
That's the key, right? Being
Yeah.
up is one thing. I'm not running around.
I'm not going through wind sprints and tackling drills.
Is also good for the team.
Yeah,
That's good for them. It's also good for me.
Fundies. Whew. Fundies. Wednesdays, man.
Your favorite. Memories.
Yeah, memories. We talked about with Coach Doms earlier this week, and on this show, it was broadcast yesterday, that we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of the start of my senior year. So that makes me feel very, very old. I don't think they made Doug feel young either when we were talking about it.
No.
So, but yeah, hopefully you joined us yesterday for that special broadcast, episode 4 of season 8 here on the Bulldog Hour, where we broadcast the coach interviews. And I gave you all a sneak peek of the player interviews because I hit the wrong button and walked away for a minute until I realized it. So you're going to hear that tonight, though. We're going to have 2 sets of player interviews. I talked to 9 senior players. We're going to try to grab a few that we were not able to get this past week. We'll grab them at the scrimmage. So if you're waiting to hear from someone and you don't get it tonight, hey, tune in next week.
Yeah, there's all kind of factors that go into
right
who's interview. It's not a lot of it is availability.
Yeah,
so.
And we just weren't able to hook up with everyone, but we got not quite 2 handfuls in the first wave, but we'll get a few more hopefully post scrimmage this coming Saturday.
Well, and like we always say, with wins come post game interviews.
That's true. Yeah, there's always opportunities.
Hopefully, there's lots of opportunities for post game interviews this year as well.
Yeah, and before we dive into the interviews, we just want to get our announcements and housekeeping out of the way. We want to thank the presenting sponsor of the Bulldog Hour, as always, is Mays Sandwich Shop, and thanks to my dad, Bill Mays, for supporting us for many, many years now. But he is not the only one. Joining him is the Hop family and 4 anonymous donors. I appreciate them reaching out to us and wanting to sponsor the show for the 2022 Wilson football season. That is greatly appreciated. And if you would like to join in on that fun, don't have to just do sponsorships or advertising here with us or the in-kind donations. But like I mentioned yesterday, visiting the website is great. BulldogHour.com has a lot of information on there, announcements for the team, current information on schedules, upcoming events, and also the history and heritage factor as well. In addition to that, if we post anything to our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you follow us on Twitch or YouTube, you see any of that stuff, give us a thumbs up and do Justin's favorite thing.
Yeah, like and share. So, spread the word. Thanks for all the support so far, and you keep it up, and we'll try to keep giving you content you like.
Yeah, we'll return the favor. And our next live show, as already mentioned, will be next Sunday, 1 week from now. We are into our weekly Bulldog Hours. It is here.
It's crazy.
So for the next, this is show 5. We've never made it to 20 episodes in a season. We've come close. We've gotten to 18 or 19. My goal is always 20. And if we do 20 shows this year, that would be, I believe, the Sunday after Thanksgiving, which would be, I believe, into the state playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's the goal. Get us to 20 shows, because it is one heck of a season if that happens. But next show, episode 6 of season 8, will be next Sunday, August 21st at 8:30. And BurkeSportsReport.com's Paul Roberts will join us as we preview the entire schedule that Wilson will face this year. We will break down all 10 opponents that the Bulldogs will play, and also recap the scrimmage. And like I said, maybe have another interview or two for you as well.
Yeah, and I know Paul has had some interviews over the last couple weeks. I know he caught Cam after West Reading Basketball League stuff. I know he caught up with Nick Weitzel, I think. And,
yeah, Nick's one that we didn't get.
And Coach Doms just the other day.
Yep,
So.
I posted those on the Facebook page, and Nick Weitzel is one that we didn't get yet, but we will make sure that we have on here at some point, maybe this weekend, like I said. But you will be able to hear from Cam Jones tonight. He was part of the group that was interviewed. And here's the schedule before we dive into those interviews. And like I said yesterday, number 1 already checkmark, gone. Heat week over. Here we are, the day before the start of training camp, bright and early tomorrow morning, and then we dive into that Coatesville scrimmage this coming Saturday, the 20th, before kickoff versus Roman Catholic on August 26th. That is game 1. That game is at home, and it is part of a special event where we'll be honoring Doc Moyer. The school district will be doing that prior to the game against Roman Catholic. Look for that to start about 6:30 on Friday the 26th. And there will also be an after the game reception and open house at PJ Wellahan. So definitely want to turn out and support Doc, the Wilson football team, which will also be hosting youth night. So you can see Van Reed, Lincoln Park, and Wilson West and Wilson Southern football players and cheerleaders out there to support the team as 2022 gets kicked off in style.
Yeah, it should be a great night. Great opponent, which we'll get into at a later show.
That'll be next week,
but,
yeah.
But great opponent, should be a good night. Great to take time to honor Doc and all that he has done for Wilson over the years.
Yeah, many of them. It was 40 years.
I know we've talked about that a lot on this show. But yeah, Doc,
a mainstay.
Well-deserved honoring of Doc Moyer.
Wilson Athletic Rushmore. There you go. That's a show. That's an off-season show right there. Because Doc's on there. Right? Yeah. We almost have to keep it like football specific, because if you add in every sport, how are you ever going to narrow that down to 4?
That's what I was just thinking. It's overwhelming just thinking about it. And
now I just gave myself anxiety.
Yeah, I was going to say, think about the way people get fired up when you're doing quarterbacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, how easy was it to do quarterbacks and running backs? Imagine picking the best of the best and just picking 4.
I'm not available that week. Whenever you know, I am too non-confrontational for that one.
Paging Paul. Yeah. Paul got to come back. Yeah. Maybe I don't do one. I just make him do it. Like, can direct all your anger and energy
ahead of time.
Right?
Invite him on.
Oh, I'm not
doing
it.
Make him give his, and then be like,
all right,
good. Well,
we talked about that. Thank you. So Friday, September 9th, which will be Wilson's 3rd game, their 2nd home game at Gursky, will be the annual Wilson Football Tradition Club Championship Team Reunion. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, we will be honoring the 20th anniversary of the undefeated league championship team from 2002 that I was a part of. That was my senior year, and I'm trying to gather as many of my teammates and coaches to return for that event hosted by the Tradition Club. The RSVP is about 17 days away. We'd like to know if you are coming by August 31st, and you can message me or email wilsonbulldogsfootball@gmail.com. And I'm sure throughout the next month or so, we will spotlight that 2002 team on this show and throughout social media as we prep for that championship team reunion occurring during the game versus Martin Luther King on Friday, September 9th. All right. Well, Justin, do you have anything you want to say or add before we move into our senior player interviews?
No.
All right. Man of little words. All right, so let's move on to the first group of senior players that I talked to on Wednesday. So enjoy these 5 senior players, and then we'll come back and direct you right to the second group of senior players. So here we go. All right, so welcome back to Bulldog Hour. We are with our first set of senior players. 5 of you guys here, and maybe it sounds a little crazy to think you guys are seniors now. You're the leaders of this team. But let's find out who we're talking to. So just give me your name and the positions we'll see you playing this year on the field. We'll start with you.
I'm Nathan Capitano, number 43. I play safety.
My name is Nick Racona, number 15. I play outside linebacker. My name is Rafael Fernandez. I'm number 11, and I play corner.
My name's Tajir Anusianwu. I play D tackle number 59.
Now I'm Zach Weitzel. I wear number 77, and you'll probably see me at center or offensive guard.
All right. Well, thank you guys for introducing yourselves, and we know we'll have another set of players in here. I usually try to talk to most of the seniors before the season, and definitely all the seniors throughout the year. But appreciate you guys taking the time here after a heat week practice, and it is a hot one. Some years you guys have been out there, and it hasn't been too bad, but this definitely is a year where you're getting yourselves ready for full pads, which is comes Monday. So the season is here. Can you guys believe it? We're already ready for your senior years.
So, not at all.
It's crazy, but I'm super excited.
That's an exciting time. We're recording this on Wednesday the 10th. It's just over 2 weeks until your first game. Your scrimmage is just over a week away. But so how did the summer go? How were your workouts? How was LBC camp? How have things been going for your team? Are you gelling? Do you feel like you've got a good nucleus out there? And you guys can just jump in. There's no order here. Just let us know what you have.
I think overall, like, all of us have been playing together for a while now, since middle school. So I feel like our connection is really there. We have a very good bond with all of each other. So, like, while on the field and all the workouts, we're always pushing each other, always making sure we're, like, competing at the highest level that we can. And, like, for most part, we're always having fun, but most importantly, making sure we're getting all our work done.
Yeah, I just want. Go ahead, Nick. I just want to touch on what Nate was saying. We're going out every day. We're competing. We're working hard, and we're just trying to have fun. Like, this is our last ride. We want to do as well as we can, and with our scrimmage coming up and our first game against Roman Catholic, we just want to be prepared and go out there and give it our best shot.
And
You know, like, just as much as we bang heads on the field, we're back in the locker room acting like just as much as a family as you would at the house. Like Nate said, every day, we know our strengths and weaknesses. We push each other. We've known each other some of us know each other since we were probably 8 years old. But every day we push each other. Camp has been great. It was a great time to, like, really show each other what we're made of, show the coaches what we can do and how we play together.
Yeah, and there's always work that needs to be done, but so far we're going at it full speed. So I feel like coming into the season, we're going to be pretty solid as a team.
So there's a good mix then of, having fun out there, especially with the new guys and the guys you've known for a long time, but also, it's a serious task as much as competitive sports can be serious in the grand scheme of things. The prep has gone well this summer, and you're ready for 2-a-days. So let's look back quickly for those of you that were play last year, 2021. What did you guys take away from your junior years here on the team last year? Because it was an interesting year here for a Wilson football program. What takeaways do you take from your junior year that you'd like to see applied, or even something changed as we get to 2022?
I'd say since, like, first game we came out with CD, we came out strong. We got that good win. I feel like we got super content and comfortable with that, and we didn't use that momentum and push forward into the next game to really kind of compete at the level that we did against CD. So I feel like that's something that we have to work on, or that we're working on this year, is to not really be content with where we're at and to always keep pushing forward.
I'm still kind of new, so last year, like, my takeaway is, like, there's a time for fun and there's a time to be serious, but, like, always make sure you having fun during the sport. This is a fun sport, like, and then one thing I also noticed is, like, I feel like one thing we got to work on this year is staying, like, at a good mindset even if we're down or not, because we got real mental, like, got in our heads, was arguing with each other. Like, we got to, like, stay focused and, like, keep a level mindset, like, keep a level head. And then that's one of my takeaways from last year. But fun, like, just have fun. It's a fun sport.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Our team last year, we faced a lot of adversity, like, coming out with that record. Like, people didn't really expect that from Wilson football. But I feel like towards the end of the season, we, like, flipped the switch. We made the change. And coming into this year, that's the same mindset that we need to have, and we need to continue that streak going on forward.
Yeah, I think 2021 was so interesting, but one of the best things that you guys did was rebound. You regrouped, and you moved on, and look where it got you. Now, it didn't end with the ultimate prize, super close to get what you wanted, but halfway through the year, I don't know anyone outside the locker room thought you were going to be able to do that. So you guys already figured out how to right the ship. Now it's time for this season to keep it that way, for smooth sailing through at least the first 10 regular season games and then worry about the second season when it gets here. So Wilson has a really strong tradition of one-year players, one-year starters. Because of the way the program is set up, there are so many guys that have a lot of talent but don't get to seem to get on the field immediately when they're underclassmen. But then their senior year comes and all of a sudden they make a huge explosion on the field. Everyone's talking about them as if there's some kind of secret that we've just been hiding for a few years. Who in your group of your senior class, who do you think could be the guy that steps up and kind of shocks the community and the LL League this year that maybe people haven't heard of much yet? Is there anyone that is ready to do that for you?
I'm going to have to give it to Nick, to be honest with you. He's probably one of the hardest working guys in the weight room. He's been pushing it every single day, trying to get better. He's been trying to get on the field. So now he's starting to keep us up at safety. He's moved down to outside linebacker now. So I think he's going to be really good this year. He's going to be put a big impression in like Berks County, even like the LL. So I think he's definitely someone that I think he's going to impress everybody.
All right.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Cappy on that because like when we came into high school, we're coming into high school. Nick's probably like the scrawny little quarterback kid. Like all seriousness. I mean, him now he probably benches more, if not the same as me. Like I'd call the kid a gym rat. Like, and he works so hard on the field every day. And I think he just deserves to not even if he doesn't start at outside linebacker, I think he deserves a lot of playing time. And I think it's going to show that he deserves it stat-wise, on the field, just anything in practice even.
Okay.
Appreciate
Two votes for Kona.
Make that 3. It's a
Three.
thing. We're all on the same boat here. Remember the name, Nick Kona. Remember the name.
Appreciate
But
it.
I feel like there's a whole bunch of kids on the team. Like, it's not really like specific kids you can name. I feel like all around there's a whole bunch of kids. Like we obviously last year Jaden Jones, like he was our star running back. This year we got Cleveland Harding. We have him at running back this year. Like I feel like he's gonna make a name for himself.
You want to talk about an athletic person, Cleveland. He played on the basketball team this past year, and we got to see how explosive he was on the basketball court. But on the football field, he can turn up too. He's fast. He has all the tools to be a running back, and when he gets in the open field, just watch out.
Yeah, that's an interesting selection just because Coach Rapoff and I, we love to ask this question because we love to hear from you guys. But, of course, we already know, like your coaches, we see who's came up with us, the middle school level. You've been playing in the high school. We always have these guys in our head of, man, someone's been in front. There's been talent in front of them. It doesn't mean they're not talented. And when they get the chance, they explode. And Cleveland had that opportunity. And we pointed that out 4 years ago with Elijah Morales. No one knew who he was outside of the team. And then he went on to rush for over 1,200 yards and be first team All-State. So, like, those are the opportunities that present yourself here on the Wilson team if you have been a key guy in practice, special teams, but just haven't been able to break through in that starting lineup, at least continually. Senior year comes and all of a sudden people are like, where did this kid come from? He's been in Wilson the whole time. Just been a little bit hidden. So, it's good to hear some guys sitting here with us, some that I think I'll be talking to a little bit later, and if not, I'm sure I'll get to talk to many of them throughout the year, Rafoff and I. How about let's put the 2022 season, just put a pin in it and talk about you guys in your future careers. What are we talking about collegiately, work fields? What do you want to do after you're done here with us at Wilson? When you graduate, we're going to work, we're going to college. Is there going to be some kind of athletic opportunities? I know for sure some of you are going on for other things. So just let the community know what are your aspirations for outside of Wilson.
Just go down the line.
Yeah, let's go down the line. Have a good idea. Let's start with Gabby.
After high school, I would obviously want to go to college. Definitely want to go out of state. I'm thinking about North Carolina right now, NC State. I have a shirt on. Football, I mean, I would love to continue it, but it's definitely not one of my main priorities. But again, if I could play football in college, I would love to do it. So.
I would also like to go to college. I've been looking at some in-state schools and a couple schools out of state, like in Maryland. I would like to major in finance, and also if the opportunity comes, I would like to continue playing baseball in college as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Misericordia University.
Yeah, congratulations. Just
Thank
all
you.
your commitment.
Yeah, I'm going there to play baseball and study business.
Excellent.
I plan on going to an in-state college somewhere. I'm planning on studying science. Like I want to
Okay.
be somewhere like veterinarian or zoologist,
Excellent.
and I also want to do like photography or videography.
No, you're speaking
And
my language right now.
and
I like that. It's all good.
and continue football, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
Excellent. I love it.
So, I plan on going to college. I'm probably gonna be a teacher for early education,
Okay.
but I plan on playing lacrosse in college. I have a couple offers I have a couple schools in state, and I have some out of state. I've visited all in state, a couple out of state. I'm trying to stay in state, but it's whatever comes to it.
Whenever opportunities come up.
Yeah, but yeah.
Now, are you doing hitting and pitching baseball or whatever utility say?
Probably utility. I mainly play outfield, but I can also play middle
I've seen
infield.
yeah, okay. I've seen you pitch with the outfield at Wilson. Outfield?
Yeah, I play the outfield.
Goalie?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, best of luck to that. I know I'll be talking to you many times over the next 9 months before you have to make the decisions or you head off. But that's honestly one of the favorite questions that people want to hear asked is, what are you guys going to do once you're done here at Wilson? What are your career goals or your future athletic goals? So, all right, back to you. We're going to focus on you guys and your development since last season. Personally, what do you think you've gotten better in your football game? It can be anything. You can talk about strength, agility, mental. What have you focused on the most, and do you think has been paying dividends as you prepare for this new season?
For me personally, at least, since safety, like there's a lot going on in the backfield. There's a lot going on in the field in general. So one thing I've learned to control is definitely my speed and like my mind to like really slow down and be aware of the field, be aware of the receivers and where they're going, which way they're going. So personally, I think that I've been a lot more controlled in all my steps and all my back pedals, my brakes, stuff like that. So that's definitely one of my strengths that I've improved.
For myself, moving from safety to outside linebacker, it's just learning how to play outside linebacker and worrying about my specific job and just focusing on that and not worrying about anything else. Just focusing on what I have to do to be successful at that and help the team.
I'm gonna say like just getting in the weight room, working on speed, agility, all that stuff. I just feel like all that stuff all around has just helped me improve as a player at corner. Like I got some reps in last year at corner as a junior, and I just feel like really hitting it like this summer coming into this season, I feel like it's made a big impact on me and I can make a big difference.
since last year, I feel like everything is improved. Like coming from like JV and just getting like reps in on varsity, like I would get winded so fast and I was out of shape. I was a little bit bigger, and this is the thing like I love the most about Wilson's program because I'm coming from Philly, like Philly's program, and compared to Wilson program, Philly was easy, but like Wilson program, like I've never looked like this in my life. Like I got here and I bulked up. I got more stamina. Like I
Added benefit,
everything. And then on top of that, on the field, my field work is getting better. I got better footwork. I'm stronger now. I got more IQ, more awareness. Like everything just boosted up, and like my stats just boosted. So I'm excited for this season. Like I'm real excited.
I'm about to say for me personally, probably just footwork and pass protection in general. Like since last year, kind of like what Taj said, like going from like JV and whatnot and stuff like that, coming up to varsity, getting more reps, having actual like competition, and also just being in the weight room, like just lifting in general, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster.
All right. So we know overall team goals, wins, that's what matters the most. But in the back of your head, do you guys have any individual like statistical marks you wanted to hit for? I mean, it can be anything. I've heard random stuff all the time. It's not just touchdowns, receptions, interceptions. It can be anything. It can even be in the weight room. Is there something you're really focusing on that you want to hit this year statistically? You personally. Let's go reverse order this time.
I'm gonna say on field, legally, like knock some kids over. I would say kill some kids, but
Some
like
pancakes.
yeah, like, like legally, like a good amount of pancakes this year. And in the weight room, I don't really know about any goals, but like I just keep working. Like right now I think my max squat last time I squatted was like 425. So like maybe 500 by the end of the year. Just something like to reach for to keep myself going.
Yep.
In the weight room, I on bench press, I want to hit 300 by the end of my senior year. 300, 315, around that area. And then on field, I want a defensive touchdown because that's something I've been dreaming about for a long time. I want to defend. I want to scoop and score, or another thing like I want to swat a pass or something, like get up in the quarterback's face and swat it. Yeah, that's one of the two things I want to do: defensive touchdown or swat a pass.
All right. On defense, like my goal, I want to get more than one interception. Like last year, I had one. Like I want to get like at least like 5. Because I feel like we got a really good defense this year. So like my goal is 5 because like we're getting after it this year.
Our defense.
And in the weight room, like I'm just gonna keep working. I'm just gonna keep hitting what I hit. I'm not gonna set a goal for myself because if I set a goal, I just work for that goal and I just hit that goal.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna keep shooting up there and just keep working.
I want to touch on what Ropa was saying. I don't want to set any goals for myself because I just want to see where it takes me and just keep working every single day, keep getting stronger.
You don't want there to be a peak. You just want to keep going.
Correct. And for myself on the field, I would mainly say I would love to score a touchdown any way possible. I would love to just get in end zone on Friday night and just embrace that moment. But also just for the younger kids coming up, I just want to be a good leader and just teach them like what Wilson football is all about and just to be there for them and just to teach them everything that I know.
Well, you'll get an opportunity to do that quickly because I believe the first game is youth night. So they'll be there slapping your hands as you run on the field. It's always a fun time. All right, Cappy, bring us home.
For field goals, I would say definitely just put as much work as I can. Maybe some picks this year. I want some big hits, make some good plays, pick 6 even. Another scoop and score just like last year.
Yes, sir.
For the weight room, I've always been like trying to put in the work in the weight room. So 315 bench, definitely a big goal. I had 275 this year. Or 280, I forget what it was.
It was like 280, 285.
Yeah, and I had 420 squat, trying to get 500. Just like some big goals in the weight room that I would love to achieve.
Who are your leaders of this team? Who are the guys that are stepping up, the ones that break down the huddle, get you hyped up before the game, or maybe just set someone straight? Who are the guys that have taken control? I mean, usually we see this in the senior class, but there's an underclassman that's been stepping up. You know, can let us know. But who are those guys that come to mind about these are the ones that are going to set us in the right direction, head down the right path?
I just want to say for the underclassmen, Jack Dendel and Logan Kerswig, those are 2 underclassmen who they're jumping in the huddle, they're saying a few words, and they're great young leaders that for their senior year, they're going to really set the team up straight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the same thing. I'm going to agree. And obviously for our senior class, like Cam Jones, like he's always been the leader of our team, and like it's not like we're always gonna rely on him, but I'm just saying like he's always there for us and he's always bringing down our huddles and we always appreciate him for that.
Yeah, it's nice when you're the player who gets the most attention, both from off the field, you know, in the papers and stuff like that, but also from the opponent, if he also has a leadership mentality. When you see him, you know, he can walk the walk and talk the talk. He can do both aspects. Sometimes you only get one of those, and that's fine too. You need those type of players and those type of leaders. But when that meshes together, you really have a key individual for your team. All right. How about you guys? What's the most anticipated game on your schedule this year? You know of 10 opponents off the bat. Which one of those really stands out to you in this cycle?
Definitely first game Roman Catholic, and probably Mifflin. You know, that's a different schedule for us. It's on Saturday afternoon. I'm pretty sure that's their homecoming night. And the past few years, hasn't been great against Mifflin, so it's definitely time for our revenge, I guess you can say. To come out there and come play
our year.
game. So I feel like those two games that I think are definitely the most anticipated.
Yeah, so like, of course, like Roman Catholic, brand new to the schedule, great team. They have great players on their team. I think that's like probably number 1 up there for the most anticipated. I think even with fans, like people who come out there, like they want to see what we're about against a very high quality team. But, you know, again, like Mifflin, it's a revenge year. Like it's our year to like punch them in the mouth and show them what Wilson really is. But like of course CD's always there. Manheim Central's always there. Manheim's always up there. They're big competitors. But like I think Roman Catholic and Mifflin are probably the biggest games this year that I'm anticipated for. I think the team is anticipated for also.
Well, it's good to have week 1 right on there because I know what the coaches will say. Week 1's the only one that matters. But you do open with that huge game. Wilson never played Roman Catholic. You're welcoming a 6A school from Philadelphia, and I know that they have a lot of good D1 prospects on that team. But yeah, Mifflin is an interesting one. Back-to-back road against them, Were you guys disappointed to learn that game had been switched to an away game? You have to play there at
At
Mifflin.
night or in the
For sure.
Yeah, in the afternoon
Yeah.
on Saturday.
That kind of got to me. I was like, we're supposed to be playing them here.
Yeah, here, it's supposed to be a Friday night. Keep your normal schedule. I know that when I was alerted to that early this year, it was it's pretty disappointing because you have your routines. People kind of set aside that time to come and watch you play, and now there's a home Penn State game that day, and I know there's a bunch of people that have commitments for that. For any college football, it doesn't even matter. That's just in my head. I always think what's going on with Penn State, and there's a home Penn State game. But yeah, the local schools, other collegiate, there's so much going on. Saturdays become college, Fridays is high school. So I supposedly hear that the Mifflin staff not happy about it either, supposedly, but it is what it is. You have to play Saturday afternoon, a little bit different. Selfishly, I like it because it's better lighting for my pictures. So you guys on the game against Mifflin. But yeah, obviously that's at the top of everyone's mind because not only has it been moved to a Saturday, different time, their homecoming, but you guys had a tough time with them the last 2 years. So a lot of build up, and I'm sure you guys are thinking, well, I'm not going to be part of a team that's never beaten our big rival. So the motivation factor for that, I'm sure, is through the roof. But yeah, Roman Catholic Week 1, that is a huge one for sure. We kind of talked about this, but focus more on your class, your seniors. How about give us some underclassmen who could surprise on offense, defense, and names that the community, the fans should know about entering the season?
It's gonna. Oh, Tommy Hunter.
That's
That's what I was thinking too.
Young kid. He's a junior coming up this season. He's gonna be playing quarterback for us. He is a talented kid. He's a young kid, a little bit inexperienced, but coming into this year, I feel like he can make a big impact on this team, like as a junior, and then he's gonna make a big impact his senior year as well.
Defense, I say on the line, Logan Kurzwick and Derek Reiniger. He's what is he? He's coming up as
Derek's coming
sophomore.
up
Sophomore, and Logan will be a junior. Yeah, I feel like defensive line there'll be look out for them.
Okay.
Offensive line, young kids. Meta.
I would say
AJ Matter, Anthony.
Yeah.
We can't forget about Brady Klein.
Brady.
Yeah,
Brady.
Brady. Yeah.
He was a
I'm
big
sure.
factor of the team
Yeah,
last year. So,
definitely.
I think he's gonna play a
Brady
big role this year as well.
for sure.
He's
Yeah, encore for him, only entering his sophomore year, but people already know his name after his freshman season. So excellent. So how about going back to you personally again, going all the way back to when you remember starting Little League, middle school, whatever you started in the Wilson program. What's your favorite football memory that you've done so far? It could be something on it. Let's not do high school yet because that'll be another question. So let's do, and it could be, in Van Reed Lincoln Park, your middle school, or just coming here and watching a game. Like, what's your favorite Wilson football memory that you weren't on the team yet?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say now Nick and Tajir aren't gonna remember this, but Rofo and Cappy, our last year of Van Reed, we played while missing in the chip, and we just completely swept them. And it's just a thing that it was our last year. It was a great time. All the coaches, Kirkpatrick, Zerby, I forget the Urig, it's just. And then in middle school, when we had to combine with Southern for our class, it was we were all so confused. We never played with these kids before. We always played against them. And just coming together, we bonded so well, and it just helped us so much in the high school. Freshman year, we didn't have to worry about meeting new kids. We're all together as one team, and we kept going. This year now, we've known each other for over 4 years just because of that, and it's so nice. It's so great to have it.
I would say one of my favorite memories, though, is back to Van Reed. I used to be a nose guard on defensive line. Probably some of the best days. I was just short, scrawny kid.
Wait, Coach Wilbur didn't put a package in for you to play that position?
No.
We'll have to talk to him about
Yeah, and since I was just faster than all these kids, all the O-line, I just get right by and get sacks every game. So that's definitely one of the favorite memories of mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Zach's memory when we won the chip against Wyomissing. That was one good memory. It's just something I'll never forget because I remember a couple years before that we lost to them in the championship, and then coming back and beating them, it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling.
I feel like my favorite memory, like since I'm still like kind of new, like last year was my first year playing for Wilson actually, like on JV. But like my favorite memory was coming out on the field and just seeing a bunch of new faces, and then I finally get my helmet, and we do like 1-on-1s, and like I just completely like just cook them like, and then it was like, who is this kid? Like where have you been? Like, and then everybody would just, you know what I'm saying, coming to meet me and all of that. It was a nice experience, like meeting Wilson team for the first time. Yeah.
Good.
Back my class back in Lincoln Park, we were never good. We always had the junior class kids like Logan Kurswick. They always had to play up and help us out because we never had the numbers and just we needed kids. But I do think having those kids coming up, just it was good to meet some younger kids and just playing with them. And I know you said not to touch about.
Well, we're going to do that next, so you can kick us off right
But
here.
just saying now, playing with them at the high school level, it's just cool to remember. Like, oh man, I remember playing with them back when we were younger, and just getting to play with them now. It's awesome. It's great.
The true meaning of team.
Correct.
Right? It doesn't matter age.
Correct.
You're just playing as a group. So how about we both have kind of talked about your high school experience, your favorite memories from that so far. But the rest of you, your first two years on the high school team, what stands out? What was the big moment that you remember that you'd say is your favorite right now?
Probably the first varsity game I played my sophomore year, safety. We had a bunch of starters out, a bunch of them were hurt, like Caleb Brown, all of them. So I was put in the safety. I was like thrown in, like it was like this kid. I used to play outside linebacker, so they like brought me up to play safety. They're like, "All right, you're starting this game." So I was like, "All right." We beat me in Hunt Township. I don't remember the score, but I think I had about 4 or 5 tackles that game. So that's probably one of my favorite memories from high school football.
Yeah, that was huge. That was the week after the opening game of the delayed start to the season because of COVID. After the loss to Mifflin, and yeah, like you said, a lot of people out injured. When I talked to the seniors last year, that was a big point of emphasis on them. Was the Manheim Township game 2020 was one of their biggest memories to date. So
I feel like one of my favorite memories, and this is last year again. I was on JV, but we were playing Penn Manor, and we were up in the second half, and so they started putting like JV players in, and I had got a sack and Friday Night Lights, and it was like the most exhilarating, like the most exciting feeling. Like got up and everybody was on the side like, yeah, Taj, yeah, Taj. It was probably my favorite moment to like my whole time playing for Wilson.
yeah, those are good feelings.
Yeah.
With mine, I'm gonna go last year. A game against Central. That's the game where Cam Jones, he came out early. Something happened with him, and I had to go in for him, and I played like most of the game at corner. And it was just a great memory for me because I did really good, and we won that game, and it was just an amazing
Yeah,
memory.
you talking about the playoff game?
Yeah, the
against
playoff
New York?
game against them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm gonna have to say this will be our sophomore year at LBC camp. So one of the seniors, Trent Moss, he like my sophomore year. I kind of got to know him because of summer workouts and whatnot like that. And he like really brought me in as like a young kid. And he was super like encouraging, super nice to me. And we were at camp, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Here, come with me quick." And it's because he wanted to play a prank on someone. I forget who it was. But basically, they weren't in their dorm and they didn't lock their door. So he goes, "I need you to help me with something quick." So we went in their dorm and we took their mattress and hid it in one of the extra rooms. And he was like, "Now don't say a word." And he gave me like $5 for it. So that's probably got to be like
You
one of
got
the.
to make money?
Yeah, because I helped him, and the kid and I was in the same hallway as the kid we did it to, and he comes back and he's like, "What?" He's flipping out. He slams his door shut. He's going knocking on doors trying to figure out where it was. It was really nice.
Great, that's great. Okay, just last couple questions here. Do you guys have any pregame superstitions or routines?
I usually wear the same shirt
Same
every single
shirt?
game.
Okay.
It's this like cutoff shirt. It's like probably like a 2018 Wilson Mifflin game shirt. I
One
always
of the
wear.
whiteout shirts.
Yeah, one of the whiteout shirts. I wear that like almost every game. That's probably the only superstition I have.
I'm gonna say I have these pair of socks that have a hole in them, and they're right on my heel. And it's just something about it. When I put my cleat on, it like rubs my heel, and I'm like, oh, it's game day. Like it's something about it. Yeah. Like I wear them to practice sometimes, and I'm like, these are the wrong socks for practice.
I kind of started this last year a little bit. I started this like mid-season last year. I'm gonna continue it into this year, but before every game, I'm gonna do a flip. And before we break it down, I started doing that last year, and like it just like gets everyone hyped. It gets everyone up, like screaming, clapping. I'm like, I'm gonna continue that. I'm gonna continue that into this year to get the energy going before a game.
For me, honestly, last year I just started before every single game. This isn't really a superstition, but I would honestly work on controlling my breathing. So I played a lot of special teams last year, and I was a little nervous. Like this is my first experience playing Friday night, and I got a couple really important roles on special teams. So I was a little nervous, but I would just sit in my locker. I would just like keep my eyes closed and just work on my breathing. It would help settle me down. And I did that before every game.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Breathing.
I put in my music, like put in my earbuds in, and just blast music and just like breathe, like just focus on like the game and all of that. And then that's just pretty much it. We go out there and then he do the flip, get us hyped up.
Well,
Man.
We can't forget about the biggest one though, the Bulldog. You always have to touch the Bulldog before the
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a generation.
That's a
Don't touch the Bulldog.
Yeah, that's a team tradition.
Yeah.
Program.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of practical answers, a lot of ones that we've heard. Clothing is very popular, food, music. Breathing is actually a newer one, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, scientifically proven to help you calm down. If you can fix your breathing, control that, things will generally go your way. So, how about growing up? Did you have a favorite high school player? I know most of you grew up watching Wilson play. Is there a guy you remember watching as a little kid run around on Gursky?
This is still kind of recent, but I remember I was sitting in the bleachers and I heard the student section just saying Iggy Ray enough. So and he was always fun to watch. Watching him run the ball, he was awesome. I also want to say Avanti. I forget his
Lockhart, yeah.
watching Avanti. I got to know him a little bit actually because he was a senior when I was a freshman.
Mhm.
So I got to know him a little bit. He was always fun to watch as well.
2 running backs and linebacker too for Avanti.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same answer. Watching Iggy.
Iggy.
Yeah, I always liked watching him. I was gigantic too.
I would have to give it to my brother just because like he's 2 years older than me. I've always grown up watching him play.
Yeah.
Since when he was a sophomore, I was in 8th grade. When he was a junior, I was a freshman. So I've always watched him. He was always starting. So he was definitely someone I paid attention to most.
So my answer, first of all, like Troy is just, he's such a beast. Like in the weight room, like we played with him my sophomore year, but like in the weight room he would like push and push. Like I did sleds with him, and the one time, like it was hot. I was dying. And he comes up to me and he's like, "Come on, you got these." He's like, "One more." He was always pushing. And on the field, he was just a crazy athlete. But this one is like a kid. He only played his senior year, I'm pretty sure. He used to play when we were younger, but he didn't get much time like playing in general because of how small he was. But I don't know if you guys remember Andon DeJesus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That kid,
Yes.
he was so like I'm telling you, I don't think he grew since 7th grade. But we used to put like 4 plates in the sled room, and he wouldn't give up. He had such a mentality that I just love to see it. Be like, the kid probably weighs 120 pounds, but he did not give up, no matter what it was. We'd get on the field, he'd go up against Troy, to do as much as he can, crack heads as hard as he could. He just never gave up.
Didn't back down, huh?
And it was just great to like be around him, because I'm looking at that and I'm like, I gotta go, like I gotta try harder, because look at him.
Yeah.
I can't say like I watched anybody growing up, but last year I like to watch Memo, Dominic
Dom,
Memo.
yeah.
Cause I looked up to him because like he played the same position. I mean, he was just so good. Like I could like not wrap around like I couldn't wrap that around my head. Like he was just so good. Him and Eli Rodriguez, but mostly Memo because of how quick he was, how athletic he was. Like I was so confused on how he was a lineman, how fast he was.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I looked up
Memo
to
is
him.
also a good example of that senior player to step up and play a big role.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
that outside the program didn't know too much about, but he's the guy that when I was interviewing senior players, that's who everyone pointed to was Memo last year.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the half an hour, so just the last two questions are a real quick hit, not big discussion. How about if you watch football outside of this high school stuff, favorite college and favorite pro team who you watch on Saturdays and Sundays?
Penn State and Steelers.
I would say Notre Dame and the Eagles.
To be honest, I don't really watch.
You don't watch
I don't watch college football like that. I mean, like, I like watching it all the time. Just like I don't pick specific teams. Like if it's on, I just like
the
it.
sport in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same for me with college football. But my favorite team is the Rams. I like to watch the
Rams,
Rams. Yeah.
You got bragging rights for a few more weeks. Everything resets.
I'm gonna say the same thing as Cappy, Penn State and the Steelers.
Okay, Penn State and Steelers. Interesting. Notre Dame, huh?
Notre Dame. I've liked them ever since I was a little kid. So
I liked you.
That's good.
All right. The last thing, just what is your message to the fans and the community about this upcoming season? What can they expect out of you guys?
A great year. That's all I gotta say. I expect a great year.
great year and exciting games.
Big explosions on D-line. Big explosions.
Yeah, high energy, like just big games that we're gonna come out and play, show up, and just give some entertainment.
We're asking the crowd, bring the noise, be loud at the games.
Yeah, just wait for the dogs. We're gonna show what we can do. Everyone in the crowd's gonna hear a whole bunch of new names and just be aware the dogs are coming. We're coming,
Sir.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me as the first set of senior player interviews. Best of luck this year, and I look forward to talking to each of you after a win on Friday nights or maybe Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, so that was the first set of interviews with our senior players. We're gonna roll right into our second group. So another 4 senior players right up. But Justin, that was it was good to talk to those guys, and it was a fun group, and they seem to be ready for the season.
Yeah, it's you can sense the excitement, and kind of the anticipation, and ready to get rolling. Well, like you said, bright and early tomorrow.
All right, here is the last set of interviews. I think these run about 20 minutes with another 4 senior Bulldog players. All right, we're back here with this second group of senior player interviews on the Bulldog Hour. Guys, thanks for joining me. First up, just go through, give us your name, number, and positions. We'll see you play on the field this fall.
Cleveland Harding, number 5. I play running back and corner.
Kyle Cooper, number 9. I play receiver and DB.
Cam Jones, number 1, corner and receiver.
Spencer Tanga, number 10, cornerback and receiver.
Got a lot of defensive backs in these groups. A lot of seniors in the defensive backfield. I don't know if that says a lot about the team or not. I'm not speaking to many big linemen. I'll have to make sure that some of them get caught after the fact. They haven't joined us yet, but maybe a little bit later. Had a couple in the first group, but guys, how's the summer workouts going? How was team camp at LBC?
It's been rough, but I mean, it pays off in the long run. So we understand that, and we're working hard every day to kind of prepare ourselves for when the season comes around.
What's the toughest thing to do over the summer? Those workouts you have 3 days a week. What's the toughest part of that?
I think the hardest part is waking up.
getting up and getting there.
But other than that, sleds is really tough for us.
Okay.
But like it's all mental. Everything you do.
Usually people complain about the core. Most people kind of, when they're lifting, they don't do core. So when it kind of hits you in the 3 times a week, you start to feel it.
Is there any? Do you ever get adjusted to it? Your body get used to it, or it's always a battle?
Well, usually what they try to do is like every week they up it with the time or the amount of reps. So you start to get used to it, but then like the next week comes and you add that extra 5, 10 more reps, and you start to feel it again.
So before we look ahead to this coming season, let's look back to last year just briefly. What were some of your takeaways from your junior season in 2021 from what you experienced with the team or individually? What do you look back on 2021 and think about?
In football, you go through adversity. It could hit you early, it could hit you at the end, but no matter what time it hits you, you gotta battle it and kind of don't let it get the best of you, so you can keep moving forward. And personally, I took away that if you put the time in the summer, when it comes to the season, like it'll pay off. You end up having a good record and competing for championships, and that's what everyone wants to do.
Anyone else learn anything from last year or want to say anything about last year?
I mean, I didn't really play as much last year. What I can take away is just paying attention and being involved could get you can prepare you for upcoming seasons. Just knowing what you're doing and knowing what's gonna happen, expecting it.
The Wilson program has a strong tradition of having players step up their senior year and they get to be that 1-year player and contributor. Who are some of your teammates, your classmates that maybe the fans don't know much about right now, but think could make a huge impact on the team this year as that senior starter? Anyone come to mind? Anyone jump out?
I have people when you use that.
Yeah. Definitely Nick Racona. Like, he does a lot. He helps a lot. He's always trying to help someone. He's always uplifted and bringing good energy to the team. So, like, when we're lifting, he's always right there pushing people to just go harder. Same with on the field.
Yeah, that was so Nick was in the first group of interviews, but 3 of his teammates picked him out on this question. They all jumped on Nick as being a guy that they think could have a good year this season. Anyone else you think in your class that could step up and be a key contributor for you this year?
I think all the seniors who didn't get much time last year will have a big year this year, no matter what position they are. I mean, Cleveland taking the role in running back, I think he'll fill it pretty good. Between Makai and Spencer, not seeing the field as much, they'll take their roles pretty good and kind of help lead the team as well with being a senior. Like Tajir, Zach Weitzel, Nick Weitzel will have a bigger year. Landon had a big year at the end, but I think he'll have a better all-around season. I think it's just Cappy, everyone throughout from all our starters. How many are there? Like around 20?
I think about 20.
Yeah, so
right in there.
I think all 20 of them will have a big year, contribute however way they need to. I mean, all the seniors know what their roles are, and that's kind of what we're doing right now in practice. Everyone plays their role, and that's how we become good.
Let's quickly talk about the future for you guys off the football field. Have you thought about what you're going to do after high school, college, workforce? Anyone going to play a college sport? Just let us know what you're interested in, what you'd like to do after Wilson. Cleveland, we'll start with you.
Well, definitely attend college.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do in college, but definitely attend.
Okay. All right.
I'm definitely gonna go to school. I'm gonna continue to play football, whichever way, whatever division is, because everything's a blessing. And then I'll be pursuing in like communications.
Okay.
I'll be playing college football somewhere. I'll make the decision soon. But I really enjoy math when it comes to school, so something that kind of involves math and business is probably my career path that I'll be taking.
Okay, and you said soon. Do you have a date in your mind? Or
Yeah,
just like when it comes up?
August 21st.
August 21st.
Yeah.
Okay.
August 21st.
Yeah, I'll be going to college for sure. I'm still bouncing between playing a college sport or not. I'm not 100%. I haven't really picked out colleges yet, but I'm gonna do marketing.
Marketing.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. So, I
Okay. Yeah. Good collection. We'll catch up with you guys after the season too to see if you've made decisions on where you'll be going and what you'll be studying, or if you're rejoining the workforce. All right. So, how about sticking with you individually? How about some personal goals for you on the field? Like, we know the team wins the most important thing, but individually speaking, do you have any statistic? Whether we hear tackles, touchdowns, receptions. The last group also talked about weight room goals, individual weight room goals. Is there something statistically you'd like to see you reach this year? Some peak that you have out there that you would like to hit on the football field or in the weight room or whatever you can come up with?
Personally, mine. I mean, I've been getting hurt a lot lately. I got hurt last year, so I didn't get to see the field as much as I wanted to. So, I mean, my goal is truly just this season, once I'm done with this foot injury, come back and truly grind. And just my goal is to play a whole season. That's it. Just my last season, I just want to play the whole season. That's really my main goal right now.
Don't really have any like statistics that I want to kind of accomplish. Last year, I think I had a good mindset just coming in and letting my ability take over and not really thinking about the stats or anything, just kind of going out and play. That's my same goal this year is just to play, and then whatever stats come with it, comes with it.
Modest and humble. Don't worry, we'll take care of the stat collection for you and keep everyone up to date. Kai, how are you?
My goal this year, because I didn't see the field much last year at all, is just go out there and play the game. I like to play and just have fun doing it, because all the stats and stuff come later.
Okay.
My goal this season is just to do my job, play my role, do whatever I can do to help our team win.
All right, guys. Who are the leaders of this team? Who are the guys that are stepping up? Generally we think about usually it's going to be seniors, but the last group also talked about some underclassmen. On the field, off the field, who's getting you guys ready? The players who are in those leadership roles.
I'm a leader myself. I kind of take more of like a set by example kind of thing. The underclassmen, the linemen, like Kurzweig, Dendel, they do a good job being like the leaders who speak the most and bring the energy to kind of pick everybody up.
I would say the same as Dendel and Kurzweig. And Ryan's there too. They bring a lot of energy and they're really intense about it.
Yeah, but those same names that we heard from the first group.
Well, besides the seniors who are taking leadership role.
Yeah. They pointed out those junior or sophomore linemen just
even
are helping out.
Even like with Derek being a sophomore and Christian and Brady as well. All three of them obviously being up here last year, they seen how like the team should be ran and stuff like that. So with them three as well, they're taking a big leadership role within their class and kind of most of them are kind of competing for spots this year, so they're taking that leadership role as well. Them three.
Since the end of last season, what do you think you've improved the most in your game? What are you guys better? Bigger, faster, stronger, mental? What has gotten better since that last game last November?
Probably for me, just like mentally, like with plays and stuff. Towards like the end of the season, I was like kind of getting in, like knowing what I'm doing. Now I kind of think I got it all together for the most part.
I would say the same. My mental is completely there, and I'm knowing more. Because last year I came in and wasn't like really sure about anything. I was very hesitant. But this year, like I feel way better about it.
You definitely kind of focus more on my technique this off season. Usually, like I'm blessed to kind of have the speed that I have. So when it comes to playing defensive back, the technique is really where it has to be at. So you can read things better and know the game plan better and stuff like that. Know what the other team's running. So definitely the mental side.
Yeah, definitely say that. I think mine's my speed. It's probably my main thing.
What's your most anticipated game for this season? Which of those 10 regular season games do you look forward to the most?
Definitely week 1. We got a big matchup of Roman Catholic. People people kind of underestimate them because the record wasn't as good last year, but they're definitely a team to beat. I mean, with the Philadelphia Catholic League being as strong as it is, it's hard to win games up there. So, I mean, all the teams are talented, and obviously we know what they have to offer. But then also the Mifflin game is definitely circled. I mean, they've had our number the past 2 years, so I think it's time to bring the Gursky line back home.
That would be nice. I haven't gotten to touch that trophy yet in the first 2 years.
But we've never touched it.
Right, yeah.
since we've
The
been here.
graduating class, the senior class, you've gotten to see a lot of teams before you do that, but your group hasn't gotten there yet. It's a unique opportunity to do it on a Saturday afternoon back at their place again.
Yeah.
2 years in a row. When you guys found out about the game being moved to Saturday afternoon, what was your first thought?
It was kind of like an eye opener. Like I looked at it and I was like, I thought we were hosting on this year.
Right.
Like I thought they were coming back to us, and we are kind of because after they beat us our sophomore year and they took that picture on the Gursky monument, like that kind of stuck in my head. So, I mean, I was hoping that it'll be back home this year so we can kind of remake that picture, but with us up there instead of them.
Unfortunately, scheduling changes have flip-flopped that game, but Saturday afternoons also throws up a little bit of a wrench into your plans, gets you out of sync with your schedule. But yeah, so Saturday, October 1st, 1 o'clock at Mifflin. But you mentioned that Roman Catholic game. That's an interesting one. I know that the coaches, that's the one they want you all focused on right now, week 1, first game. But because of the potential and talent that team will bring here, it's definitely one that no one wants to be looking past. And I know the fans are very interested in that one too, just because it's an opponent that Wilson's never played. So
Yeah.
it'll be brand new across the board. Any others from the schedule? Those are the two that the first group mentioned as well. Like week 1 Roman Catholic and then week 6 against Governor Mifflin. Those are the two big ones.
Township, they got a good team too. Like you can't ever count them out at
Season
all.
finale
Yeah,
on the road.
and I would say Hempfield too.
Yeah.
Last year they gave us a little bit of problem in the first half, and then
Mhm.
we handled it the rest of the game.
Jaeger's doing a good job over there,
Yeah.
but we can't let them get too confident.
Yeah, now they are coming to Gursky this year,
Yeah.
so that is definitely a game. After get through the Roman Catholic Mifflin, I think Hempfield and Township are the two big ones that stick out from a league perspective.
Yeah.
If you guys want to win a third league championship in a row, those are probably going to be your two biggest obstacles. So that's at least on paper, that's what people are thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are definitely some big games coming up. We talked a little bit about the seniors, the 1-year starter who's going to step up. How about team-wide, underclassmen? Who are a couple of your teammates that the fans and community should be excited to see on offense and defense this year that you think will have a breakout season?
Henry Flight,
Okay?
because
DJ's little brother.
Yeah.
he's been looking good summer so far. And I mean, he's getting a reps in with the varsity, and every time he goes in, he does what he has to do. So we wouldn't be surprised if he sees a couple snaps every game on Friday night.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet, so that's a good pick. Anyone else?
From the position groups that I'm in, Eddie Case definitely have a bigger year. He seen the field a little last year, but obviously playing behind Sean and being in that rotation, he didn't see it as much. And I think Austin Valikevich will have a good year as well.
Wagner. Jackson Wagner too.
Okay.
Yeah, when he comes back, I think we'll be very good.
Good. That's good names for everyone to watch out for this season. So far to date, what's your favorite Wilson football memory? Give me one from when you were younger to when you're on the team now. Because that's what the first group wanted to talk about. They wanted to have two. One on the team in the last couple of years, and then one from like Little League, youth, middle school days. Thinking back, what are something you remember about Wilson football? Watching, doing, doesn't matter.
You guys have one?
I can't say
When I was younger, my older brother played cornerback, and I just remember one time they blocked I think it was a kick. I don't know if it was like a punt or something, but I just remember they blocked it, and I remember seeing him pick it up and run down the field, and everybody screaming his name, and I was just like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, I want that. Yeah.
Is that Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think my best memory was having the ability to play for Dragonette and Kirkpatrick, and having to be able to play for Fernsler. Between those three guys, like, definitely prepared me for coming up to play for Doms. And then also winning the Van Reed Championship, whatever, the youth.
So you got the BCIFYL.
Yeah, when we beat YO over at Birch Catholic, that's definitely a memory I'll never forget.
Yeah, that one came up with the first group. A few of the guys talked about that because you had lost to them a year or two beforehand. You had lost to that same group in the championship before, but you were able to beat them the next time you played.
I mean, I wasn't here when I was younger, but I could definitely say it because I grew up playing with these two, so it was like definitely fun every time. Like we would go to tournaments and stuff together on travel teams. We'd have so much fun.
My biggest memory or favorite was in middle school for Fernsler. It was the first year we combined with Southern, so just getting to meet those guys earlier than we had to was just nice.
Yeah.
Still talking to them now.
Yeah, that came up in the first group of interviews too, saying that it was nice to get you guys felt like you got an extra year ahead of what you normally would get.
Everybody else,
instead of coming together as ninth graders, you came together as eighth graders. So now you had 5 years to play together versus just 3 or 4. So that was a highlight as well. How about from the last 2 years on the team? Big moments, big games that you personally got to take part in on the varsity team. Anything jump out? Your favorite Wilson football memory entering your senior season?
Yeah, I'll go. Definitely my sophomore year, we played township by township. We ended up winning, and then that kind of helped us win outright that year. And my brother had a big game that game. I think he rushed for like
that was a lot.
28 carries for almost like 300 yards. So like it was good. It was like one of my first biggest games as a high schooler, and that's probably my best memory from high school year.
Probably be the same game. It's my first varsity start because my boy Troy went out. That was his first time being out, so that was a big game to have a first varsity start on. And I just remember just being on the field was just, there's nothing like it. I loved it, and I mean, it just stuck with me ever since.
My biggest memory here, I think, was the first game. Just like walking into the stadium, just looking at the energy it brings and how much like the community loves the football team. It's like definitely one of my favorite things here.
Yes, I'm about to just steal his same thing. Just coming out and having everyone cheer for you. It's just a great feeling, just seeing all the kids and stuff.
Yeah, both those things you guys mentioned, the community fans, the kids were mentioned in the first group, and I said that you guys will get to dive into that right away because I believe the Roman Catholic game is youth night, so you'll have Lincoln Park, Van Reed, Southern and West, all the kids will be here ready to cheer you on for that game, and then the Man on Township game from 2 years ago, the shortened COVID season, delayed season. Since I said at the beginning, we got a bunch of DBs here with us. You guys the ones that had to step up in 2020 because of all the injuries.
Exactly. And Coach
guys,
Wahlberg wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was sick, so he wasn't there calling the plays. Like,
yeah, the adversity for that game, like one single game, the amount of people that were missing, key on the field and off the field. In that moment, you mentioned your brother scoring early in that game and how many carries he had, and then all the young guys, you guys that are now seniors that had to step up and fill important roles in that game. When I talked to the seniors last year during these interviews, almost all of them pointed to that game from when they were juniors as being their favorite Wilson football memory to date because of just everything that had gone on that whole week. So yeah, that's definitely one that'll always be remembered for sure. So just a few more questions here and we'll wrap up. How about, do you guys have any pregame superstitions or routines that you personally have to go through or you just don't feel right taking the field?
Well, obviously you gotta touch the Bulldog.
Yeah, team one, yeah.
I just like to when we're walking down like the stands or whatever, all the people putting their hands, I gotta high five all of them. It's just a thing I gotta do. I don't know why.
Respect that.
Yeah, just can't leave anyone hanging.
That's a cool moment. It's really cool.
But yeah, it's routines we do.
Yeah.
Or superstitions,
what do you do
like
before the
anything,
game? Like, do you wear the same socks or stuff like that?
I mean, personally, I gotta listen to music. I always gotta use the bathroom before I go. So like, that's a must. And then it's definitely like just focusing up and like
to myself and being in my own zone.
I always yell to the music. When we go for team dinner, I only eat fruit. I stay away from the chicken patties and the noodles usually. And I always have to call my mom because I see her when I leave the house in the morning, but I don't see her until after the game. So I always gotta call her before the game as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah, definitely just like listening to music, and I usually just like take a nap.
Just kind of
Sit in
chill.
my locker and just close my eyes and just chill out. Like,
Clothing, food, music, those are the big ones. Obviously, the team one touching the Bulldog, that came up in the first group too. Had a couple guys say that they focus on just kind of relaxing and going through their breathing just to kind of chill out. So yeah, all good things. Growing up, did you have a favorite high school football player you watched? If you were in the area here or wherever you were from originally, like what player do you remember coming to the high school stadium and watching play for the Bulldogs or whoever? Their names that jump out you really recall?
Favorite player watching was probably Brian Wright.
Okay.
Yes, Dad cuts my hair now, so I talk to him. I used to go to games and see him. He's a receiver.
Yep.
He's pretty nice. So I like watching him.
Okay.
I think my favorite player watching on a Friday night, but definitely his name's Junior Default.
Okay. Yeah. Receiver.
He goes to Westchester now.
Mm-hmm.
He helped me through like my middle school years, and he was a big mentor to me.
Yep.
And everything I do, I still talk to him every single day.
Yeah, big time receiver.
Johnny Ray Schneider.
Yep.
He's in my bloodline, so
Okay.
would always come up and watch him play. And then Jake Game is a name that has never left my head. I remember playing for Coach Templin. He always used to tell us we can't wear gloves because Gaiman didn't wear gloves. Because his son was a quarterback at the time, so he was like, when we would ask him to wear gloves, he was like, "You don't need them. Jake Gaiman doesn't wear them." So,
Templin Gaiman, that was a good connection at 14. And Templin graduated, but Jake was back for another year. But that was you got 13, 14, 15. That's the season you guys are talking about with Ray Schneider, Templin, Gaiman. Okay, and anyone else for you, Spencer, besides your brother?
Definitely Tommy O'Brien.
Okay.
Just because, like, I mean, he was a pretty big name, but just like watching him, like, he never took a play off. Like, he was just a dog. Like, he just always wanted to be at the ball. Like, he just wanted to kill everybody he's seen, and I just loved how he played. And I wrestled, so I used to see him at wrestling and stuff, and he was funny. So I liked him.
Yeah, just full motor all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
No quit. Yeah, those are great names. Those are great names to bring back. How about favorite college and pro football teams? You guys watch a lot of football outside of playing it on Friday nights. What are your go-to college and pro teams?
I don't really watch football, but I go with like the Eagles.
The Eagles?
Eagles are nice.
Okay, reluctantly.
Yeah.
My favorite college team is Florida State.
Florida State.
I watch them try to watch them when I'm not doing nothing every day.
Okay.
And then my favorite pro team is Giants. So I always tune into their teams.
Okay.
growing up, I was a big Cam Newton fan.
All right.
Obviously, my name was Cam, so
It's just naturally linked.
yeah, so it was like weird. So I grew up like I still do. I watch Auburn a lot, but I like college football more than pro. So
You do like college
yeah,
and pro?
I like Saturdays more better than Sundays.
Saturdays of the day, huh? That's the day to watch. All right.
Yeah, I definitely like college football more, but I mean, I don't really have like a favorite team. I mean, I guess my favorite team's gonna be wherever Cam goes for real. So I mean, that. But besides that, NFL wise, I'm a Alvin Kamara fan.
Okay.
Kamara, so I mean, that's my boy. So wherever he goes, I like watching him.
Your family likes the Steelers, though.
Yeah.
I got Eagles pretty standard. Steelers too. There's a lot of Steelers in this area. Usually I got people fighting Eagles Cowboys. I didn't get that at all. You got Giants. So, but yeah, it's funny. The college. I mean, you always have a lot of time. You have a team growing up, or the Wilson community likes a bunch of them. But whenever any of you guys move on to play college, I know those people quickly adopt those teams because we want to see you guys succeed in the future. So, and obviously now at the pro level, you see a lot of Chiefs fans in the area. as Chad continues his thing out there. So he gave you guys a shout. He got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What did you think when you saw that?
I was surprised. I really was. I had to watch the video like twice because I didn't know if he really said it or not.
Yeah, I had to watch it a couple times because you can't really hear him say it.
Yeah.
So I had to like turn it all the way off my phone. I had to like put it to my ear.
I didn't really listen to it.
The next time we talk to Chad, I'll have to ask him what the
Conversation
start of
was
that.
about.
Yeah. You heard him say something to Wilson or Bulldogs, and then Mahomes gives you the peace sign, and he says Wilson Bulldogs. And Chad was funny. He said, "Oh, he had all the quarterbacks saying it. You can hear
They all
walking
said
out of practice." So, yeah, I want to get the behind the scenes story about that. What was going on there? I thought that was pretty cool. Last thing, we'll wrap up here before my laptop battery dies. What is your guys' what is your message to the Wilson fans as you get ready to embark on your senior season here for Wilson football? What do you want the fans and community to know about you and your team?
We're hungry. That's really what I got to say.
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a big year. We got a lot of seniors who are looking to step up, kind of fulfill their roles and fulfill the senior tradition as well. So, I mean, as a team, we're looking to obviously compete for all the championships there is on the table.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to hear. 100% effort all the time. No giving up. Appreciate you guys taking the time with me and between practices here.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having us.
next week as you get ready for the padded practice in the summer heat, prepping for your week 1 showdown with Roman Catholic on the 26th. And I look forward to discussing your victories Friday evenings afterwards to get you back on the Bulldog Hour. So appreciate it, guys, and best of luck the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. 9 senior player interviews done. Another great group there. That second group of guys I talked to, it was funny. It was all defensive backs. I mean, I know they play offensive positions too, but it was all defensive backs, and I was going to say specialists. That's not right. Skill players on offense. But we talked to Jamie Sands yesterday in the assistant coach interviews, and he talked very highly of that defensive backfield that he has. A lot of guys with plenty of talent and experience coming back for him, and talked to 4 of them. And like I said, we did miss a few senior players that were expected to join us, but we're unable to make the timing work. And there's a few more I want to get caught up with. So if you didn't see them on the show tonight, like we said, we have the scrimmage this Saturday, and we have all the post-victory sessions that we'll do. So we'll definitely make sure that many of the players, especially the seniors, get some airtime. So if you missed out, fear not, and hey, track us down. Like, we're always ready to do these interviews at any moment. So if you want to talk about something Wilson football, let us know.
Yeah, that's kind of right up our alley. If you
Yeah,
haven't
a
picked
little
up on
bit,
that by
yeah.
now.
So the only thing I really wanted to point out was I didn't get to ask the first group this, and I didn't bring it up to the coaches, but I mentioned it to that second group of players, the Patrick Mahomes shout out. That was really cool. I was alerted to it by little Coach Wolber. Do we call him LCW?
I don't know.
We got
I don't know what
LCD. We got so yeah, Ryan tagged me in a post, I think on Instagram, and this was while I was away visiting my in-laws in Pittsburgh last weekend. And it was late at night, and I was like, well, I clearly have to repost this, because how often does one of the best NFL quarterbacks mention your team name? I don't think it happens that regularly, but it is funny. I know Chad had reposted it as well and just said like his ducklings following him. You know, he's the mentor of the young quarterback room, which is great. It was a lot of fun. It's a great video. Where Patrick Mahomes just shouts out Wilson Bulldogs. So that was fun. That was cool to see. Next week, Sunday, August 21st, 8:30 p.m. right here. We'll have Paul Roberts on the show. We'll preview the entire 10-game regular season slate. Go opponent by opponent. We'll give you, coaching information, their schedule information, players that they lost, and of course the players they have coming back. And we'll discuss the talent that Wilson will see opposite them for the next 10 weeks. I mean, the football is right around the corner. Training camp starts tomorrow. So we are excited to be here. We're excited that this moment is here, and we can't wait to cover it all for you. So hopefully you will join us weekly on the show, and hopefully we'll get to see many of you at Gursky Stadium and other high school venues over the next few weeks. So Justin, anything else to add?
Yeah, it was fun hearing from the seniors. We enjoy that a lot, hearing from the players. We talk about the coaches, how they've really been open to us being around over the last few years. And it's fun, but it works best because the players are open to it too. So it's fun that they are willing to sit down and answer the questions and give us the time.
Yeah, during the interviews, I don't always pay attention to their faces. I'm usually looking at my notes and my screen and make sure that everything's recording properly and I know what question I'm asking next. So it's nice sitting back and rewatching the interviews and seeing how they're smiling and laughing. Well, it seems like they're having a good time.
And a lot of the questions we ask them, not obviously all of them would apply, but a lot of those things are the things we talk about all the time. Mm-hmm. Like the one when we ask, like, who should we look out for? You and I are always talking like, hey, who do we think
who's going to
really
step
break
up?
out?
Yeah.
Like who? So like that's always fun stuff that we enjoy talking about. It's fun to hear their insight as well.
Yeah. So, all right. I think that does us for us here on the Bulldog Hour. Episode 5 of season 8 is over. Episode 6 next weekend. I hope everyone has a great week and hope the team has a great first few days of practice leading up to the scrimmage against Coatesville on Saturday. That will be at Coatesville. It's supposed to kick off at 10 o'clock. I don't know if varsity will be first or if that'll be JV, but it is down at Coatesville, so you'll have to make your way down there if you want to see Wilson in action with the pads on for the first time. But that's it. So for Justin Raffoff, I'm Joe Mays. Until next time, go Bulldogs.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Bulldog Hour. Want more Wilson football? Follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. Or visit www.bulldoghour.com. The Bulldog Hour is a featured program on jmnjrradio.com.